Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. It's Rock and Roll Spock in action. We're bringing back a segment that I haven't done since well before my rather lengthy hiatus. It's HeroClix 101. On today's installment of HeroClix 101, we will be talking about title characters. Now, you might be asking yourself, what is a title character? Well, title characters are figures that usually represent a character that is integral to a core theme of a set. For example, Thor Odinson from, well, the Mighty Thor. And of course, Loki, Agent of Asgard, also from the Mighty Thor. Both representing Asgardians. Now, title characters are somewhat different from both regular characters and prime characters. They're also very similar to prime characters, but we'll get to that later. Now, looking at the dial of a title character, there's no special powers whatsoever. And looking at their character card, there's only one trait, which simply says title character abilities. See inside. So, let's see what the character card has to say. Title characters start the game with and can accumulate tokens called plot points on their card. They have special plot abilities activated by free actions that can add or remove plot points. You can only activate one plot ability per turn. When you activate a positive plot ability, give the title character that many plot points. You can't activate a negative plot ability unless you are able to remove that many plot points. Title characters also have continuity abilities. Continuity abilities are protected pulse wave, meaning that they are, well, they are unaffected by pulse wave. You may only have one title character on your starting force, and title characters can't replace or be replaced by other characters. Alright. Now, every title character, the 6 that I have, and I presume also the others that I do not have, all have the following continuity ability. At the end of your turn, if the title character activated a plot ability but didn't make an attack, deal it 1 unavoidable damage. Okay. They also have a continuity ability that refers to if and when they are KO'd. In the case of Thor Odinson, when he gets KO'd, friendly characters can't move or make attacks during your next turn. So anyways, most of them have one positive ability and 2 negative abilities. The second negative ability is actually rather strong. In many ways, they're actually quite similar to Planeswalker cards for Magic the Gathering. But also, as I mentioned, that they're similar to prime characters. That's in the fact that you can only have one on your force. Many also, in some cases, you also get well. So, how exactly? Let's approach how they work. In the case of, well, again, using Thor as an example, he starts off with 3 plot points. His positive ability, Bring the Lightning, free. When Thor Odinson targets and hits a single opposing character with a ranged attack this turn, after resolutions, once per turn, he may make a ranged attack targeting a different opposing character. which he has hypersonic speed, so basically you can use hypersonic speed and, well, say he hits Loki. Well, okay, well, Harley is within range as well, so we're going to go for Harley as well. Now, I mentioned that they seem to all have 3 plot abilities, and however, one exception, that at least that I know of, comes in the form of Wasp, Heart of the Avengers, from Avengers Infinity. She's a colossal, and she possesses 4. You've got 2 positive plot abilities, each adding 1. Keep the Avengers working together like clockwork. Each time an opposing character is hit this turn after resolutions, modify that character's defense value by -1 this turn. Try picking on someone your own size. Choose an opposing character that attacked Wasp, Heart of the Avengers, or damage a friendly character since your last turn. Place Wasp, Heart of the Avengers such that she can make a close attack targeting choosing character, then do so. If your target has Colossal, modify her attack and damage by +2. So it's basically a Colossal retaliation. Her negative plot abilities. Pin Particle Release. Choose Tiny, Standard, Giant, or Colossal. Wasp, Heart of the Avengers, and adjacent friendly characters that aren't vehicles gain that symbol until your next turn. Then for that's -3. And for -10, we got Janet, you're the best chairperson the Avengers ever had. Remove all action tokens from each friendly character with the Avengers keyword and heal them each 2 clicks. Now, also her, when she's KO'd, deal 1 unavoidable damage to all friendly characters within 6 squares of her. Now, one thing that should be noted is that in most cases, especially cases where it's a character that has multiple versions, Thor, Loki, Magneto, Wasp, if another effect refers to, say, Thor, such as the Thor Groot's trait, which allows him to switch places with Thor, Thor, as he is Thor Odin's son, and not Thor, he can't be targeted by that. Yeah, title characters can't replace or be replaced by other characters. Also, for example, with Magneto Realist, excuse me, the Brotherhood, one of the Brotherhood of Mutants alternate team abilities refers to Magneto. Sadly, it can't key off of Magneto Realist, as he is Magneto Realist and not Magneto. Which kind of sucks, as he's one of the best Magnetos there is. Probably, but that's now. Where did you might be wondering when did WizKids begin doing title characters? Well, I started off in Deadpool and X-Force with Deadpool, Merc with a Mouth. Then that went on to Avengers Defenders War with Doctor Strange, Earth's Guardian, followed by Thor Odinson and Loki, Agent of Asgard, Harley Quinn and the Joker, and Harley Quinn and the Gotham Girls. Core, Charvanek, and Captain Kirk in the Star Trek Original Series set. Professor X Dreamer and Magneto Realist in X-Men Xavier's School. Captain America Principled and Wasp part of the Avengers in Avengers Infinity. And most recently, Batgirl, Shadow of the Bat, and Batman, Caped Crusader in Batman the Animated Series. With the exception of Wasp, part of the Avengers, and Captain Kirk, all of... possibly also Charvanek. I can't remember if Charvanek's a rare, super rare, but with the exception of Captain Kirk, Wasp, and possibly Charvanek, all of the title characters are super rares, with the ones mentioned being rares. Though, to be perfectly honest, rare Colossals in Avengers Infinity may as well have been super rares. How, of course, not all title characters are created equal. To be perfectly fair, Thor Odin's son blasts Loki, Age of Asgard, out of the water. But then again, Thor is designed more for attack, whereas Loki is more designed for support. But yeah, each one has their own abilities, which I don't really think any of them have abilities that cross over. Oh, turns out that Core here from Star Trek only has 2 abilities as opposed to 3. Oof. Harley has a mean KO ability. When she's KO'd, all opposing characters gain power as a power action. Heal 2 clicks. That's yikes. And when Magneto's KO'd, all friendly characters modify their damage by -1 for the rest of the game. Damn. That's the one thing with title characters. You don't want to lose them because that KO ability can be a killer. I mean, Thor and Loki both have ones that only last to the end of turn. To your next turn. Same with Core. But Harley, Magneto, and Wasp, whew, they've got some just, whew. Anywho, some additional things to pass along. I will be planning on doing a video focusing on Avengers Infinity, the set that Wasp here came out of. Will probably be next week. Yeah, basically kind of looking at the pieces, the figures I pulled from it, and well, kind of some of my the pieces I pulled from it that I'm quite fond of, such as Living Tribunal here and Eternity here. Various other things about the set. Tomorrow I'll be doing the weekly comic book live stream. I'm gonna try for early evening or so, maybe around 5 or 6 my time. I'm talking on Central. Oh, hiccups, man. I'm on Central Time, so. Um, Thursday. We'll actually be doing a video on Thursday. At least that's the plan. We planning on doing um, our retro review of Predators, followed by a building the team on Saturday, and my review of the Predator on Sunday. And then we'll actually be continuing the retro reviews, just with a different franchise starting next week. So I'll talk more about that on Thursday. Anywho, that's it for today. Yeah, and I kind of wanted to do something longer. Oh well. Anywho, as always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my social media can be found in the description box down below, as well as my Patreon. Which, if you like, throw if you want, throw in a few bucks or so, or don't. I'm not a cop. This is Rock Roll Spock signing off, saying live long and rock hard.